let's go ahead and kick this off. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mike Navarrete. I've been an entrepreneur for the last, give or take, 10 years now. Been in the trading space since 2015. I've been building businesses all over the world, building teams, culture, just groups, organizations since 2017. And in the last, yeah, I would say in the last 6, 7 years, it's been a beautiful thing to build out movements, clearing over 5,000 plus people. So to be able to work with so many people in this business has been amazing, and working with different people from different parts of the world, um, clearing well over 30 countries all over the world, and just working with different types of people. I'm excited to talk to you guys all about how to be a high level IBL, right? How to be a high level leader in this kind of business, and where you're not just, you know, it's not really sales. It's a lot of relationships. It's pouring into people. It's development, and so it's very different. But I'm excited to do it, and I'm super stoked because I get to share the space here today with my boy Cruiser here. We've been talking a lot throughout the last few weeks. Honestly, we've been chopping it up quite a bit, and we have some good things planned for you guys today. But more than anything, Cruiser, can you automatically just mute everybody? That would be awesome, bro.
My bad. Yeah, got you.
Appreciate you, bro. All right, guys, let me go ahead and pin myself up real quick, and we'll dive into it. So, more than anything, I want to talk about how to really create personal momentum for yourself and for your business, for your team, how to bring that into 2024. It is December 1st, right? Appreciate it. He muted me too. He's like, I mean, everybody, Mike included. So right now, what I want you guys to really understand is December can be one of the most impactful months for 2024. Every single time. December for me, I feel like is the cheat code, is the advantage for what 2024 can look like. Now we live in a world where it's really kind of like attention warfare, if you think about it, right? It's social media, different platforms, whether it's online, whether it's in person, but everyone's kind of fighting for digital real estate, right? And especially in a time and era where I think that we've never lived in a better time ever to create our own businesses, to market ourselves, right? To provide value to people. I feel like the cost of acquisition, right? The cost of acquiring a customer has never been so low because of the types of content that you can make, because of the way that you can just communicate to literally anyone on the planet for free, basically. And so now we're at a point where if you don't if making a business online is something you want to do, which I believe is one of the smartest things you can do because of how much leverage you have, right? You can go in and create, whether it's Instagram, TikToks, YouTube, and because of who you are, what you know, what you experience, how you see things, how you create, you can go and build out an amazing vision, mission, and you're able to produce things where people want to be around you, right? People want to either hear more, or they want to just watch, they want to just listen, they want to be part of a community sometimes. And we're entering the most interesting month of the year, my favorite month of the year, maybe, because this is really where, and this isn't a like go hustle and don't sleep kind of conversation. Not at all. What I'm saying is just there's 31 days this month. You don't need to take the entire month off. um, Create a rhythm for yourself. I would say like there's really important days where you want to spend time with your family, but don't allow a day to turn into five where nothing happens. Now, hey, if that's what you want, beautiful, do it. But don't accidentally lose days, weeks, sometimes months. Anybody here ever just kind of feel like, where did the hours go in a day? That happens And we're like, where did the days go? Where did the weeks go? Where did the month go? Some of us right now are like, how are we in December 2023? Me right now, I'm just like, wait, what? Like, hold on. We actually have 30 days left of this year. That's actually mind blowing. So, momentum. This month is the month that can give you one of the greatest advantages in terms of your business, because what you do December kind of sets up quarter one of 2024. And I want you to understand the kind of attention that you create in December, because when in December you are, developing yourself in December, you are, you're putting content out there, you're just communicating with your people, whether it's in person, whether it's online. But when December carries a lot of consistency and your vision and your mission is just communicated over and over and over again, what happens? What happens when you're on fire in December? Who can tell me what happens in January? Everybody that's seeking some sort of growth, maybe some sort of intentional, skill set development, someone that's just like, man, you know what, man, I've always actually I've been kind of slacking on becoming an entrepreneur, learning how to build an online store, learning how to trade, or learning how to invest, learning how to build a network. A lot of people in January decide to get their shit together. It's the moment when people really start to think, yeah, it might not be a bad idea, huh? Like, all right, it's because we just go through so much reflection. We go through, whether it's the end of the month in December or the beginning of the month in January, either you're regretful, right? You're reflecting, you're making New Year's resolutions, and all of a sudden you're thinking, and then the rest of the world, for the most part, is creating an intention. It is amazing, honestly. So what better it is to be hyper consistent in December, so that when everyone's becoming very intentional for the year in 2024, when they think about their goals and making them happen and being around the right people, you're probably the first person they're going to think about, or you're going to be someone that they're thinking about, because your focus is on developing yourself, developing your skills, developing the people around you. So with all that being said, it's so crucial to have just a consistent December. Spend time with your family, but I would say just be very intentional with your time this month. Be very intentional with your time this month, because it can set up quarter one of 2024. And when quarter one of 2024 kicks off super strong, then you're still rolling in momentum. So with that being said, I want to talk to you guys about something called the triangle of momentum. The triangle of momentum. Now that's vision, right? Vision, leadership, and desire. So the triangle of momentum: vision, leadership, desire. The first point in this triangle of momentum is desire. Desire is a focus. It's a healthy obsession. I've always been an obsessive person in the things that I want and in the person I want to become. I'm rarely a kind of dabble in certain things person. I'm all in or I'm not, really, for the most part. Like, anybody who's known me and maybe has followed my journey for the last 8 years, like if I start doing something, I usually don't really stop. Like, if those of you that have watched me on Go Live, literally have the most hours in the entire company, almost by double. And I do different languages, right? Whether it's trading, whether it's gym, I couldn't tell you the last time I missed 2 days in a row in forever. Years, probably 5, 6 years, 7 years maybe. So that's something that, for me, desire is really strong. But it's because it's not just so much what do I want, who do I want to be, it's also the opposite. Who do I not want to be? What don't I want? And this is something that I've learned from Charlie Munger, who just passed away a few days ago. He thinks in inversion. He calls it invert. So it's not just what do I want, it's also what don't I want. So it's not just thinking, how can I create the best life ever? It's how could I destroy my life today? It's the exact opposite. Because if you know exactly what would destroy your consistency, now you know what not to do. So in business, how can I absolutely guarantee I stay in the exact same position? How could I do that for myself? Okay, well, if I stay highly unfocused, 100%, I'm going to stay in the exact same rank. So, look, you got to see your goals, to speak your goals, right? We become what we think about most of the time. The word frequency, you guys hear about vibrations, the law of vibration, you want to vibe high, good vibes. The word frequency to me has always been like a cheat code. Like it's something that makes so much sense. So that it's like you hear that you want to be at a high frequency, a high resonance. And I was thinking about this word because, everything is vibration. Literally, I won't go into it, but I was thinking about this and it's like, okay, well, how do you, how do you become someone of success, right? How do you hit chairman? Okay. Is it about what you want? Part of it, right? The desire is like, it's kind of like the ignition. It's kind of like the spark, right? It's the spark. But unless there's something to ignite it, unless there's something to really set it off and keep it going, it's not enough. So you have to become this, right? And so what happens is you start to do the right things, but you're just not doing them often enough. You're not that person consistently enough. So the word frequency to me is such a like a centering word, because if you're at a high frequency, that means that things are happening often. That you are either someone very often or you're doing certain things really often. And so that's why, depending on your frequency, is what you receive. So, in terms of what you want, okay, how often is it in your mind? Because the reality is this, you know, I don't think that we don't want to grow. I don't think that's the case. I think we honestly get just so bombarded with so many things in our mind that we kind of just forget. We don't have an emotional impact connection deep enough to keep that like energy going, to really keep us, push us, and drive us. And so my question for you and my suggestions would be, what are you going to do so that you have that desire, that reminder in front of you to keep you focused and centered so that you can be that person more often, you can do those things more often. I think that the majority of us, and myself included, I definitely have these moments with different things in my life, but it really is, the dog that's just sitting on the nail. I know every single one of us at some point in time, we've been in some sort of pain, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, but it doesn't hurt enough for you to kind of get off your ass and go do something about it. It's like an inconvenience, but not enough to go, okay, let me wake the fuck up. Let me just actually start moving along. Let me go actually have the conversations. Let me pick up the phone. Let me make the videos. Let me learn some more. Let me read a damn book. So it's like, how much does it need to hurt? Especially living in the US, we have a very, very convenient situation here where it doesn't get that bad. Trust me, I've seen some of the poorest countries on the planet, and I've seen some of the wealthiest countries on the planet. The US is really interesting because it's like in the upper middle, it's in the elite, but it's set up so it's really not that bad for most people. Not in ways that it really sets you on fire. So you have enough to eat usually. Usually you have a roof over your head and you can lean on other people. So it's that we usually have to create that desire ourselves. We have to kind of find something different. And for me, and it's going to be different for everybody, right? And also, I'm just here to say it doesn't have to be money. It might not be money, it might be like just being able to live your life, like just be able to do what it is you want to do every day. That's what for me, that's what it was. For me, it wasn't about becoming a millionaire. It was about just not having to go, serve people alcohol every day, not having to go, sell weed, not having to go live in a cubicle and just spend 50 hours of my life there and then and then driving for 2 hours in a portable cubicle to get the home and back. Like that just wasn't a life that I wanted to live. That's what it was for me. So you need to figure out what that is for you. And there's kind of a two-way version of desire and really seeing your goals and speaking your goals. And there's one way where I think it's leveraging pain, and the other one that's leveraging desire. So it's kind of a two-way street. And it works differently. And this is maybe going to be a big shift for you right now. For me, it wasn't the vision board. The vision board didn't do it for me. The things that I want, that was nice. It made me feel good, but it didn't keep me consistent. It fired me up, but it didn't keep me consistent. It might work for you, right? Maybe having like the car of your dreams, the house of your dreams, maybe your dream projects, whatever those things are, the freedom, maybe that's what like gets you moving and keeps you consistent. It wasn't for me. For me, I had to envision and just stay aware of the pain of what I could, what I didn't have or what I could lose. So because we all know ourselves better. Some of us might carry a little bit of anger, right? A little bit of frustration. So use it. Cool. You gotta, life dealt you a bad hand. Well, that's what you got. So figure out how to use that instead. So for me, I had to use that as fuel, realizing like I started this when I was 20, 21 years old. And for me, like feeling so underestimated, having just big goals and I was definitely a smart ass. I mean, I guess I still am, but I just felt like I deserved so much more and we can do so much more. But at the same time, I felt like they were making me feel small. So I kind of had a chip on my shoulder. So to go and get that, make that happen, that was everything for me. To go get my freedom, to go prove that, sure, these freedoms were stolen from me when I was born, but it doesn't mean I can't go get it back for myself. That was the big thing for me. I didn't have, anything really envisioned on what I wanted, but I knew exactly what I didn't want. And that kind of pissed me off enough to not to stay up those long nights and wake up early and just get really creative with my process and do what needed to be done. So really you figure out what it is for you. Like if you make a vision board and it just connects with you deeply, it moves you, do it. That's what it is. In the beginning, that wasn't for me. Honestly, that helps me more now. But in the beginning, that's not just what did it for me. Now I like to think of things what I have at stake. Stakes always make things move. You move differently. So for me, like I really take ownership over the success of my family. For like it's really important to me that Nancy's good, right? That the future of our kids is good. My family, her family. That's something that is on my mind. And it does set me off. That might not for you right now. You might be 18 years old and you're like, bro, they're good. Like, yo, mom and dad, like, they got it covered. Brother, your older sister, whatever. You're like, they can figure their stuff out. I'm going to do me right now. And that's perfect too, because that's how I started. Now I look at things a little different. I have a couple more years. And also, I am in a totally different era of my life. So I'm willing to take that on. You don't have to, but you need to know what works for you. Like what works for you, just like trading, just like the business, what sets you off? Because you have to be able to tap into like this fuel source. You need to go get charged up at will. That's how you can kind of stay consistent. And this is where it's a real source of energy. You're not just like, this is how you avoid burnout, because you're just coming from a real place. You're not coming from some empty desire, oh, I'm going to be chairman. Like, yeah, maybe that's what you want, but what does that mean for you? What does that mean for your people? Right? So desire, the first point, in momentum, everything operates by law, guys. Everything operates by laws. Desire triggers mechanism of all achievement and success. No one ever got anything without desire. The second point in the triangle of momentum is vision. What is the vision? What is your vision? What is the vision for your team, your organization? What's the vision for your life? What is it? Do you know? And if you don't, well, guess what? Are you going to get what you want? You don't even know what you want. I remember when I started doing events in like 2018, I think. We were asking in a room. I think there was like 20 people. My first event in a hotel, small hotel in my hometown. And I'm like, yo, like, what would you guys be doing if you could do anything right now? Like, where would you go? You know, what would you have? Most people didn't have an answer. They just didn't have an answer. And I was like, mind blown. But then I realized I didn't have an answer either. Like I asked the question and then I realized like, wait, I don't even know what I would really do right now. Like if I had unlimited resources and it just like, let's just do whatever. Like, what is it exactly that I want? I'm like, man, I don't actually know for sure. Like, I don't know what that looks like. And so oftentimes I think we do have general, like a general, like, oh, yeah, I want more money. I want more free time. I want to spend time with my loved ones. But what does it look like? Like, what does it really look like? Who are you with? Where are you at? Like, but what's the detail? Build that for yourself. Because once you start to kind of see it often, then it's no longer something that feels far away, right? That now all of a sudden it's something that it starts to feel more real. It starts to feel possible. It starts to feel less foreign. I remember before I made a big move outside of the country in the summer of 2018, I spent actually a lot of time meditating, and I would see the ocean, like I would see the beach, and we were moving to Puerto Rico, or like that was the plan, and we would meditate, and we would literally go there in meditation, and then when we ended up getting there that summer, and we ended up getting a beautiful home out there, and it was an amazing like time that we spent there. That led to over 3,500 active members in our organization just from Puerto Rico. That took a couple years, but I just remember getting there and it didn't feel foreign. I felt like I had been there. I felt like I belonged there. That's the kind of feeling you want to create for yourself. A lot of times we just feel like we're almost like unwanted guests in a life that we want. Right? We get that imposter syndrome. But like, why would you like? How do we defeat imposter syndrome for our own life that we want? You have to put yourself there. And this isn't just so you feel all nice and the butterflies. It's just so that you're actually starting to rewire your subconscious mind. You're starting to shift the way that you see life and what's possible for yourself. Because you're just not going to do it if you don't. There can be steps, but you have to break that inconvenience. You have to break that feeling of like a lack of familiarity with the things that you ideally would want in life. So the first step is to just figure out what is it that you actually want. What does that vision look like? Not just for you, but here, your leaders. So now, okay, what does the vision look like for your people? What is it that you're fighting for? What I really stand for is for freedom. Freedom beyond just money, right? Freedom beyond money, freedom of your ability to make your choices, your ability to have time, right? Freedom to move and go wherever it is that you please. Freedom to feel comfortable in your skin. Freedom to feel like you have power over your mind and your emotions and your thoughts. That's the kind of vision that I have here. And for me, and I feel like the whole team can embark on this vision and this mission together. But that becomes when we have to master ourselves, right? We have to develop ourselves. But you have to have a vision for yourself, for your team, for your life. But here's the best part is all of this fits into the vision of the company too. So that was the second point. And finally, guys, in the triangle of momentum is leadership. The third point is leadership. This is one of the highest paid personality traits and qualities on the planet. Leadership. CEOs, presidents, kings, queens, you name it. People in charge, people that make the decisions, the people that lead from the front and from the back. Leadership. These are the people that are able to build a bridge that helps people go from the unknown, the lack of belief, the lack of vision, to walking, right, and following the leader to a place where they maybe have never even believed was real. But only a leader can take them there. And everyone really leads and everyone really follows. So you need to set goals, right? You have to have a strong teachability index. What is your ability to learn? By your ability to change. Teachability index is everything for a leader. With a strong work ethic as a leader, strong people skills. That comes with empathy. A leader isn't someone that tells people what to do or where to go. Right? A leader or someone that has influence. A leader is that shows you, walks with you towards where you want to go. Now, teachability is funny. I say teachability index and everyone says, oh, Kevin Trudeau. But you got to go beyond that, guys. Where do you think Kevin Trudeau learned that from? You think he made that up? Go further. Don't just go further. Go research. I can give you all the answers. So you want to have a strong regime in your personal development. So when we talk about personal development, look, my recommendation isn't just go listen to audiobooks and go listen to podcasts and go read books all the time. Nah, that's not me. You need to know, what do you need in that moment? You have to be specific. Right now, what's the bottleneck in my business or my personal life? Am I struggling with recruiting? Okay, let me go learn how to do that. Am I struggling with developing my people? Do I struggle with making connections with my team? Do I struggle with, let's say, for example, presenting? Do I struggle with closes? So when you're reading, don't just read so you feel good and you feel like you did something nice in the day and you got better, you got smarter. Be highly intentional with what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're learning. Because you're going to waste a whole bunch of time just listening to audios and then make you feel like you're smart. And then you maybe even say smart things, but it doesn't matter. Because what's your priority? What's the goal? What's your goal? If you're on this call and some of your goal is to develop a business, right? To build a movement, to build a culture, to build a community of people. So your goal right now might be, hey, I need to be the one to bring in people. I want to be the person that attracts, right, the right people to learn these types of skills, to build a movement of business with me. Okay, so then I need to focus on that. Maybe you are already good at recruiting, but you struggle with your people and developing them. Okay, let me go focus on that. So be intentional with your development. If you're just like clicking random YouTube videos, all right, I mean, you're just taking up time. That's okay. That's activity. That's not leading to anything else. So the best leaders, right, they don't need anybody. They don't need their upline. They don't. I'm gonna be real with you right now. They don't need them. Now you can leverage them, please do. But having someone, maybe someone got you started and they're just MIA, or maybe you have leaders that they just don't help you as much as you want to get helped. Or maybe they don't reach out to you enough. I definitely don't reach out to you guys enough. That's all right. Guess what? You have my number too. So, but you don't need them. We went and hit chairman. We did it. We did it without having an upline. Okay. So can you. You don't have to do it without somebody. Definitely leverage. But based on how we started and a vision that we had, we felt like we had a slightly different vision than other people. So we went and did it our way. But my point here is don't let people that aren't there be the excuse for you to show up. Just because someone else isn't showing up for you doesn't mean that you stop showing up for yourself. And that especially doesn't mean you stop showing up for your people. Yeah, you brought them into this. You got to guide them through that tunnel. So be more intentional with how you're organizing and prioritizing the things in your life. All right, human beings will only do what they think they're going to accomplish. So you have to be naive enough that you can think it's possible. There's a book that I love. It's super short. And it's, I think, just such a good, I feel like it opened up my mind to quantum leaps and to having like the craziest leaps of growth in my life. And that book is called U Squared. Super short book, like 30 pages. But it breaks down a lot of belief systems. So something for you guys to look into. I'm gonna wrap up there, guys. I have a couple more things that here in mind, but I really want to wrap up right there. I think I gave you guys a little bit of the mindset, a little bit of perspective, but I know that Cruiser here has a bit more on the strategy side, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I said something nice or if you felt warm and fuzzy, or if I pissed you off a little bit. I had a couple people leave this, so I think I did, which is amazing. U squared, so literally U and then squared. There you go. So implementing and going and doing is what matters the most. And I know Cruiser's going to focus on that. Cruiser's someone who has smashed chairman a couple of years back, has developed leader after leader after leader after leader. We were having a conversation a couple of days ago about just our teams and the people that we're working with. And he was like, yeah, you know, this person I got started and they're this much away from P600. This person I also got started and they're this much away from P600. And he did that for like 15 different people. And I'm like, yo, you're a machine. Like everyone that you get plugged in, like they see the value in this and you're hands-on with them. And they're like, you know, just a couple away from hitting P600 and duplicating. So you guys have honestly a gem here with you that's going to give you some things to go implement, to go do, to take action, right? I gave you kind of the mental models and maybe some things to remember, but this is going to be what you guys will use to go and actually, drive and make things happen. So my brother, next chairman 25, Matthew Cruz, take it away, my friend.
Yo, can you hear me? Just everybody thumbs up if you could hear me. Yes, just want to make sure. Perfect. Guys, drop a C25 in the chat for Mike. And yeah, it's crazy. We were just chatting the other day, and to see, how far he's come, to see the results that he's been able to get. Forget that, to see the results that he's been able to duplicate in his team, within a bunch of other people as well. And for me, I think that the reason why I respect Mike so much is because I like to say that consistency creates credibility. And when he was talking about how he has twice the amount of go live hours than any other educator, that absolutely blows my mind. Like, that is insane. And his consistency when it comes to trading, when it comes to building, when it comes to everything, is a testament to show, how he was able to get to where he is, and not just get there, but be able to stay there and be able to help a lot of other people along the way. So I appreciate you, bro. Dropped a ton of value. And yeah, guys, I'm hyped to talk about creating momentum going into 2024, because we can all agree that the day you plant the seed is not the same day that you eat the fruit, right? So if you're trying to start in January, then you're already late, right? The seeds that you're planting right now are going to manifest 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now. Whatever you're doing right now is going to determine the momentum that you have going into the new year. And so I can show you some messages of somebody that I have getting started here in a couple days. And yeah, in the business, I shot her a message, showed her the business, followed up with her, set up another exposure, and 3-4 weeks later, she's about to get started. So when I'm telling you that, quite literally, like, what you're doing right now is going to determine how far and how fast you're going to be going into 2024, I mean that. So we can all also, on top of that, drop a 777 in the chat. If you want to get bigger results, better results this upcoming year, drop a 777 in the chat if you want to get bigger results and better results this next year. Well, the only way that happens is taking more action and taking new actions. You don't get new results with the same old actions that you've been taking, right? You're going to get new results, better results, based off of taking more action and new actions that you haven't taken yet. And that's what we're going to talk about, because Mike did an amazing job breaking down the triangle of momentum, talking about desire, leadership, and vision. And for me, I'm going to go over a little bit about, I'm going to talk about momentum and creating momentum, and then we're going to talk about some more how-tos. So I want you to think of it like this. There are certain people in this company where everywhere they go, they create momentum. Everywhere they go, they build a team. It's like they have a magic wand and they just, boom, like wherever they go, boom, there's 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people. Mike talked about thousands of people that he was able to create in a certain place. There are certain people where it seems like almost like magic, like everywhere they go, they create momentum. How is that possible? How do they do that? That is what we're going to be talking about. So first and foremost, let me share my whiteboard with you guys. I want you guys to understand that momentum is the leader's responsibility. Everybody is so concerned about what everybody else is doing. I do not care what anybody else is doing. If people upline are doing stuff, amazing. If people downline are doing stuff, amazing. If they're not, amazing. Sideline, great. If not, great. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect your business. It doesn't affect your paycheck. The only person who can make that decision and actually is going to care about your success and your momentum is yourself. So if you're that type of person that's always like looking around, trying to figure out, hey, what's Mike doing? What's Cruiser doing? Hey, what's so-and-so doing? Like, bro, who cares? Somebody else's success or lack of thereof is not going to pay your bills. So you got to become the one, meaning you got to say, hey, I'm going to be the one. I'm going to be the spark that lights the fire within my organization. I'm going to be the momentum creator, and you have to make that decision, because until you do that, you're just on the bench, right? You're on the sidelines. You're not in the game. You're not playing the game, and you're not making anything happen. So momentum is the leader, aka yourself, your responsibility, number one. Number two, let's say, what is momentum? That's a good question. Maybe we should start there, right? I wrote this a long time ago. I'm going to share it with you. I just copied this. I'm going to paste it right here. For me, momentum is having a lot of new and excited people joining the business, following the system, and getting results. When the group chat's lit, when people are dropping their trades and they're getting results, when new rank ups are happening all the time, new members are happening, new member flyers are dropping every single day, right? Then you are in momentum. That's how you know. And so how do you create it? And this is so crazy that we learn this in science. We learn this in science. We learn this in math when we were kids. But the equation for momentum, if you look it up right now, is P equals M times V. I don't know why it's a P. I don't know why that represents momentum. Don't ask me, but it just does. But the equation is momentum equals mass times velocity. Velocity. So what does this mean? Check this out. The momentum in your business, the amount of new and excited people joining the business, following the system, and getting results, is a direct reflection of mass, the amount of people that you share the business with, the amount of people that you share the plan with, the amount of people that you're talking to. Talk to no people, make no money. Talk to some people, make some money. Talk to a lot of people, make a lot of money, right? Times velocity, the speed in which you do it. Are you moving slow or are you moving fast? So if you want to create momentum, all you have to understand is, okay, cool. If I show a lot of people the business in a short period of time, then I can't not have momentum. Momentum will be there. And that is how we launched our business, right? When we launched our business, a lot of people are, launching their business. They're going all, or maybe they're just deciding to go all in, which is kind of like very similar, right? When you're doing that, the question is how many people can I talk to in how short a period of time? What a concept, right? It's pretty obvious. I mean, it's not like you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand if I show more people, I'm going to get more people. It's pretty simple, but that's the truth. That's all it is. People are like, yo, what's the secret? The secret is sharing this with as many people as you possibly can. That is the secret. So it all comes down to exposures. Exposures equals everything. What's an exposure? An exposure is bringing somebody to an event. We have an event going on tomorrow in New York. If you know people in New York, awesome. Get people to that event. I'm going to be hosting an event with Skylar in LA in about 9 days. If you know people in the LA area, amazing. I think they have an event going on in the Bay Area as well. Even sooner than that, there's events going on all the time. If there's not, guess what? Throw your own event. That's what I did when I was first getting started as well. So there's events. There's opportunity calls. I do an opportunity call every Tuesday. I've been doing it for months and months and months. I'm going to do it until, right? So there's op calls. There are 2-on-1s, right? Where maybe you invite a guest to meet your mentor and they break down the presentation. We also have videos, so you could send someone a recording, right? And here's the question. The question is what does your calendar look like? I could show you my calendar in 2018, 2019, 2020. I can show you my calendar this year. And if you see, like, if I showed you my schedule today, I could show you my schedule today, but it was literally like back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Why? Because I understand that momentum, having a lot of new and excited people joining your business, following the system, and getting results, equals mass, the amount of people that you share this idea with, times velocity, the speed in which you do it. And you can go slow. If you want to go slow, great. If that's what you want to do, amazing. But everybody here said they wanted to get to the next level. And you don't get to the next level by going slower. You go to the next level by speeding up. So my mentor said, Cruiser, show me your calendar and I could tell you your income. And I didn't understand that at first, but it's so true. It's 100% true. It's an absolute fact. Why? How? Here's how. Let's say for every 3 out of 10 people that you pique their interest, show the plan, 3-way. Here, let me make this slightly smaller. Actually, it's fine. No worries. So yeah, let's say that on average, law of averages, it might be 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, whatever the number is. But I'm using this as just an easy number to use. So 3 out of 10 people that you, PS3, pique their interest, show the plan, 3-way. If 3 out of 10 people that you pique their interest, you're the preview to the movie, you say just enough to have them see a presentation. Step number 2, show them the plan, have them see a full presentation, set up that exposure. Then you get them on a 3-way, get them connected to whichever leader you feel like they could relate to the most. If 3 out of 10 people get started that you take through this process, then all you have to do is take 10 people through the process, take 10 people through the PS3 system. Boom, 3 out of 10 get started. Congratulations, you just hit P150 and you just hit that first level, and then you just continue doing what you were doing and teach other people how to do the same thing. We invite, and then we teach people how to invite. We bring people in, and we teach people how to bring people in. That's it. Now, oh, well, what if it's 1 out of 10? Okay, cool. You can make up in numbers what you lack in skill. Let's say you're only signing up 1 out of 10 people that you're piquing their interest, showing the plan, 3-way. Awesome. Well, then in that case, I would have to show 30 people. Show 30 people the business. That's 3 people, 1 out of 10 joining. That's 3 personals. Congratulations, you just hit P150. And from there, then you could, here's the thing. You could reach out to people. You could reach out to 30 people in a year, in a month, in a day, or in an hour. I've helped people hit P150 in a couple hours. Is that going to happen for everybody? No, obviously not. But I'm making a point that you can compress time. You could show a lot of people the information in a short period of time. Sometimes it's not about knowing what to do. It's just about doing more of what it is that you already know. Because chances are you already have heard of pique interest, show the plan, 3-way. And that, if I didn't say anything else other than pique someone's interest, be the preview to the movie, show them the full presentation, and then get them on a 3-way, that would be enough for you to hit P1000. That would be enough for you to hit P600. If you knew PS3 and you could teach PS3, if you could effectively not say too much and say just enough to be the preview to the movie, that's it. Because the reality is that someone else is going to do the presentation for you when you're new. Someone else is going to do the 3-way call where they close for you. So you just got to get good at being the preview to the movie, not saying too much, and then just setting up as many meetings as you can within a short period of time. There are some people that are on this call that are 1 or 2, or if not, obviously, if you're brand new, no one's more than 3 away from P150, that can literally do it this weekend. That could literally do it Saturday, Sunday. And before this pay period on Monday, hit that next level. And that would be my how-to. Not my how-to. That would be my, what do you call it? That would be my call to action, I guess. Call to action for everybody on this call, because the last thing we want to do is hear Mike talk, hear me talk, and then go home and then just do nothing. No. After these types of calls, you want to apply the information immediately. Personal growth, half of it is learning, but the majority of it is just taking what you learned and actually applying it immediately. So yeah, my best advice would be, if you're super busy this weekend, set up at least 1 new exposure this weekend. If you have a couple hours this weekend to work on your business, I don't know how many hours you have, then set up 2, 3, 4 exposures this weekend. If you have all day, you have nothing else to do. Maybe you don't have other responsibilities. And this is the main thing that you're doing, especially on the weekend. You know what blows my mind? People will work 5 days a week at their job, 8 hours a day. And then on the weekend, they're like, yo, I'm going to just take the entire, weekends off and not do anything at all and not work on my business at all. I guess it just comes down to what Mike said earlier. What is it that you really want? And how bad do you really want it? Because for me, just like Mike, I had these big goals, but I also absolutely hated my situation so much to the point where I would just work and work and work. Why? Because I hated my situation so much that I would do anything that I needed to do to get to that next level. And if you're there, amazing. If you're not, amazing. But whatever, however much time that you have, that's going to be the call to action for this weekend, is set up as many exposures as you can. Set up 1, set up 2, set up a few. There are some people that are going to just, take this and actually run with it and set up back-to-back exposures over this entire weekend and literally level up by the time this next pay period comes around. But I'll tell you this, however fast you go is going to be a direct reflection of how fast your team goes. So if you're just going slow, even if you're doing the right things, and you're just slowly working at the business and you're just slowly just going super, super slow, what do you think your team's going to do? You're going to tell them, hey, you should go fast, but you're not going to go fast. And people are going to hear you, but they're not going to listen to you, because people don't do what you say. At the end of the day, people are going to do what you do. And you're never going to get to the goals you want going at a slow speed. Now, there's seasons, right? There's seasons for everything, right? There are certain seasons where, let me give you an example. I heard this. I don't know if this is a true analogy, so don't quote me on this, but the analogy is still good either way. But the analogy was, for a plane to take off, that you had to, throttle full, you have to throttle 100% in order for the plane to full speed go and in order for it to get off the ground. Once the plane is in the air, you could actually throttle back a little bit, to 80%, 70%, 60% in the air, and you'll still be able to fly through the air fine. I think this is a great analogy for business. There's going to be seasons in your business where if you want to skip levels, or if you want to get to the next level, it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money, a lot of sacrifice in order to do it. And you're going to have to go all in for a period of time. And you're going to have to sprint, like quite literally sprint, where like, dude, this is all you're doing. Obviously outside of, your job and whatever else you have, but in your free time, like this is all you're doing. And then once you're at a specific level, you can pull back just a little bit to take a breath, and you can actually fly through the sky at 60%, meaning you can maintain your business at a certain level. And then when you want to get to the next level again, guess what? You got to go all in again, and it's a process. But everybody here already agreed that they wanted to get to that next level. And if you want to get to that next level, that is what it's going to take. Don't let anybody kid you. Don't let anybody tell you it's going to be easy. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not going to require a ton of effort and a ton of work. The best thing you could do is accept it and embrace it and have fun with it and enjoy it. That's what I like to do. I like to make this fun. Like right now, we're going over this training. I'm having fun. Like I'm genuinely having fun with you guys. Why? Because it is fun and it can be fun, and you could turn into a game, right? And you could turn into something that you can enjoy. And we can hop on these trading calls every single morning and get results together. And we can hop on these power hours and invite together. And we can hop on these trainings and learn and grow together. And it can be fun. And that's another way that you could just have like seemingly unlimited motivation, is you're just having fun with it, guys. And that's what I would do. I'm trying to think of anything else that's super, super important that I wanted to share. I think that's it for me, guys. That's going to be it. The last thing I'll say, and then I'll open it up to just a few minutes of questions, if anything. So whatever questions that you have, get them ready right now. I'm going to say one last thing, and you guys can ask me whatever you want if you have any questions at all. But the last thing I want to say is you need to, in my opinion, get a whiteboard, right? Get a whiteboard. I have a whiteboard right here. I have another one right here. I have a bunch of different whiteboards. And draw out, here's you. Draw out a circle. Here's me. and then draw out 12 circles that represents P600. And the reason why you want to do this is because, well, whatever your goal is, I'm using P600 as an example. Whatever your goal is before the end of the year, right? However you want to close out 2023, and draw out, okay, here's me, and here's 12 circles or whatever your goal is. Because the moment you could actually see your goal, you can actually start to move towards it. The moment that you could see where you're going, it's a lot easier to hit the target when you can see the target. And every time I've ever done this, every time I've ever drawn myself out and drawn out the next rank where I could physically see it and put it there every single day, it's so weird and it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. You start to literally attract the people, the places, the things that you need in order to actually hit that level. I don't know how it works. I don't know why it works. I just know that it works. I'm telling you, the moment that I drew out my goal and I actually went all in, and because you could say that you're all in, and it's another thing to say that you're all in and actually be all in. I think that at the end of the day, you could lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to God, and God is watching you. And if you're genuinely all in, I swear to you, you will attract the people, the places, the things that you need in order to hit that level, guys. So let's go out there. Let's crush it. Let's run it up. Let's create momentum as much as we can going into 2024. So by the time the new year comes, we're not just getting started. We're pouring gas on the fire, guys. So that is it for me. Y'all have any questions at all? If so, let me know. If not, we can close it out. Let me know. Let's see. Some of the best habits that helped you get to where you are. Some of the best habits to help you get where you are. I mean, are you talking about business-wise, trading-wise, life-wise? I mean, this is kind of a hard question to answer, but if you want to, I can give you the simple answer. I mean, the simple answer is every single day I'm focused on, I'll wake up. We have our trading call, so we'll hop on, usually watch Mike in the morning. So go live, trade for an hour or two, make whatever, 1%, 2%, 3%, or lose. That happens too. And then boom, that's it. You know, we got our trading in for the day. And then from there, obviously you have the rest of the day for a lot of people have to go to work. For me, obviously work on the business, but you know, I used to have to just go to work. So I'd work and then I'd come home and then I would have 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. And then I would just work on my business. That's it. What would I do? I would spend a certain amount of time prospecting, reaching out to new people, starting conversations. I would be using that to set up exposures. It doesn't matter how many people you hit up if you're not actually showing someone the plan. I would create content so I could attract people to me, because there's reaching out to people and there's attracting people to you. I think you should do both. And then what else? And then I would just promote whatever was going on. I'd promote these trainings so my team got trained. I'd promote the big events. I'd promote the conventions. I would just promote everything. And that's it. Like, that's pretty much it. Let's see, what else? Personal. I mean, personally, I would say the best thing you could do is get some type of routine to get you into your flow state. Now, it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be like, you know, some people have crazy routines, but here's the thing. When you wake up in the morning, you might wake up super, super tired, super, super negative. Your subconscious mind is wide open. And that's oftentimes when people are the most negative, is the first thing when they wake up. So some type of routine. It could be as simple as I wake up, I go to the gym. After I go to the gym, I feel a lot better. And that gets me operating at a high frequency. And then I'm good to go for the rest of the day. That would be my best piece of advice, is just do something to get you into that proper state, because that state is going to determine the actions that you take, which is going to determine the results that you get. And you can't control how you feel all the time. You might wake up feeling good. You might wake up feeling terrible. Doesn't matter. What matters is you can't control that. But what you can control is the actions that you take. And people think that emotion triggers action, and that is true. Meaning, if you feel good, it's easy to do good, right? But just as true is action triggers emotion. So if I wake up and I feel terrible, no worries. I'm still going to do what I have to do to get myself into the right state in order for me to crush the rest of the day. So that's what I would say. Yeah, get a morning routine, something super, super simple. What does all in mean? All in means is you're using your time wisely. That's what it means to me. People have kids, people have jobs, people have a lot of things going on, but in all reality, everybody has an hour, 2 hours, few hours. Some people have 5 hours. Some people have 8 hours every day to work on their business. And they spend, some people, like for most people, the majority of people, I probably did more today than most people did in a week in the business. Just keeping it 100% real, right? So all in doesn't mean you have to be doing this 24/7, 365, but it's when you do have time in your free time that you're using that time wisely. If your business went to zero right now, what's the first thing you would do to build it back up? Literally what I just kind of said, you know, I would, if my business went to zero right now, I would be doing absolutely nothing other than just prospecting. There's nothing else to do. Like, obviously we have large organizations now, so there's certain things that we have to do, but in the beginning, there's nothing else to do but invite, and that's it. Invite, prospect, that's it. Like, I would just spend, if I had 2 hours, 3 hours a day to build my business, that's all I would be doing. There's nothing else to do. What's true in order to get off? That's true in order to get off the ground. Okay, cool. I think that's it. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to go. Yo, Austin sent me a funny message, bro. You're hilarious. All right, let's get it. Other than that, what is the mindset to have for someone who has built a team but is starting from scratch? A lot of people will build up a team and then that team will collapse, and then they'll get frustrated, and then they'll feel entitled, and then they'll feel like, yo, like I should be farther along. My best piece of advice for anybody, doesn't matter what we're talking about, is radical acceptance. What is radical acceptance? It's accepting where you are right now, right? It's because disappointment is the gap between expectation and reality. So if you're like, yo, I'm not where I should be, then you're going to be frustrated, and then you're not going to want to do anything. And then you're going to take no action or the wrong action. And then you're going to get no results or low results. And then that's going to reinforce your negative mindset. And it's this vicious cycle. So the best thing you could do, number one, is realize that that's normal. Accept where it is that you are. Realize that people are going to build teams, they're going to collapse, right? If the foundation was not good, then of course the entire thing's going to collapse. That's what's going to happen for sure. And it's going to happen to everybody at a certain point in time. But the only thing that matters is, did I actually learn from that? Because if you didn't learn anything from your business collapsing and you're just going to continue to make the mistake over and over and over, then, you know, obviously you're wasting your time. But if your business grew and then it collapsed, but you took massive key takeaways, like, yo, you got to ask yourself, what could I have done differently next time? And then you do better. Is it really an L? The answer is obviously not. So that is it, family. Appreciate y'all. Let's crush it. Let's run it up. It's Friday. Let's take that call to action super, super serious. Let's set up as many exposures as we can the next few days. And whatever y'all need, let me know. Let Mike know. Appreciate y'all for tuning in for the last hour. And I'll see y'all on the next team call that we have. We're doing these literally Monday through Friday, different subject every single week. Trading calls, mindset calls, obviously IBO calls. And let's get it, family. Let's make sure we get more people plugged in. Let's run it up. Later, fam.